And we are live! Yay!
Hooray!
Well,
Welcome to the trade. Well, true enough. This is episode 21. The Why of Comics.
Yay! We are legal to drink.
Yay!
All right, keep it.
Actually,
Yes.
no whiskey for me. I don't even like whiskey.
Hey,
Rum
Jaeger
for
shots. Jaeger shots for me.
Blark.
Yeah.
So anyways.
So introductions, of course.
Yes. I'm.
So Miss Carrie.
Hello. Carrie from junipercomic.com.
Yay!
Please read my comic. And tell your friends. And use the share buttons. I love you. Anyway.
And we have Robert.
I'm Robert Trithart of writhandshine.com and chanceofdoom.com. You don't have to read my comic if you don't want to.
Yes, you do.
Come on. Yes, you do. And you have to share it.
It's mandatory. You've listened to this podcast, now you have to read the comics.
It's true. It's terrible. It's so true. And I am.
And we have Melanie.
My name's Melanie. I'm still work in progress, but you can see all my progress on steamandnonsense.tumblr.com.
Just got some good character building stuff there.
Yeah.
You guys want to see some nice behind the scenes character building business.
Yes.
It's been improved by a lot.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I like it.
I like him much better now. I was like, yeah.
All coming together.
Yes. It just takes work. Is really what it takes.
Yep.
You can't get around that.
Nope.
So, anyways, guys, update us on what y'all been doing lately.
I've been keep on keeping on, kind of. Me and Sarah have talked about potentially we effed up and we missed the deadline to go to Emerald City Comic Con. So, which I may have mentioned in podcast previous, but we were talking about maybe looking into Geek Girl Con just because it's smaller and we sort of are their demographic, and you know, I picked up some info about it at PAX, so they had a table there. So sign-ups are in January, so got that on my radar. Might do that. It just might be a better place to start small, because we're going to start small anyway, but at a place like Emerald City Comic Con, it might be
a little large and overwhelming.
Well, yeah, and considering that the merch route we're probably going to go is small things, you know, like pins and prints and ash cans and things, versus books and T-shirts and stuff, which is sort of the main fare, I think, of the merch booths at Emerald City. Like, it might just be a little underwhelming of a table for people. I mean, we'd try our best probably to dress it up and make it look nice, but it might just be a better idea to start smaller with Geek Girl Con. So that's a thing we've been thinking about. Sarah has agreed that she should probably take part in the Patreon video when we decide to shoot that. So we're kind of trying to discuss how to go about asking people for moolah, because we're not really coming at it from a standpoint of like, help me pay my mortgage. It's more like help us build a fund that we can use for comic things. And I still, like, it would be so easy to install a donation widget or whatever plug-in on my site, you know, but I need to get over my weird anxiety about asking for money. Like, even with commissions, it's a little bit difficult to take money for it, and I don't know where that comes from. I deserve money for my time.
Yeah,
but it's just
you do.
It's just weird. Like, and I've been taking commissions from coworkers and stuff. So I might be doing some illustrations for my boss's baby's room. She and her wife are expecting, so it might be green penguins that I'm drawing pretty soon, because that's the theme they're going for. So, so I mean, I'm getting little bits of work coming in, and I wrote some strips for Robert, so that was fun. And still doing the coloring book, and yeah, so I mean, the extras are slow in coming, but we're thinking about them at least. So there's that. Anyways, updates from anybody else? Anybody
Well, I know
else?
you've also I know you've
Um,
also been doing the coloring book, the Bomb
Yes.
Promise, right?
Yep. Bomb Promise is the collective that I'm part of, and this month we did an issue called Gross, and it was just a bunch of sloppy, drippy things, and it was real nasty in the best way possible. So if you live in Capitol Hill, you should check out our Gross coloring book. It has a big green cover, and it's full of veins and things. It's real nasty. Did zombies hugging and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's still going, and I think my lining is improving, so that's exciting to see things kind of coming together in a stylistic way, and also in a kind of the like getting my hand steadier and being able to make interesting lines in one sweep and stuff. Like digital inking is kind of a weird thing to get used to. But yeah, so I think things are coming along, albeit a little bit slowly, and I think that it's a good opportunity to learn some patience, as Chris Traeger might spin it from Parks and Rec. I love Parks and Rec.
But it's
But anyways,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to hang in there and keep making progress, however small. So, yep.
All
So
right.
what have you been up to, Robert?
Um, last weekend I did Rose City Comic Con in Portland, which was pretty good. I think I broke even, which is
That's good.
Heck
decent.
yeah.
You know, when you don't have to pay for gas, you ride down with a friend, and then you stay with friends, and you don't have to pay any hotel bills. That definitely helps. And you know, being only 3 hours away from Seattle, it's easy to get to.
That one's in Portland, right?
And then, yeah, excuse me. And then yesterday I went to Subspace Comics. They had a Jet City comic show promotional mini convention,
Oh, neat.
and that was pretty cool. I met some cool artists up there. And I volunteered my time for Geek Girl Con, which is in not
October.
next weekend, but the weekend after that, the 11th and 12th of October. I'll be in the merch booth the entire convention.
Cool.
I initially was going to just, you know, volunteer 2 shifts of 4 hours apiece, but they were looking for people at last minute for, you know, assistant positions and whatnot. So I'm like, you know, screw it. I'll you know, I'm going to be there anyway. So as long as I get to, you know, roam around the convention floor, you know, once or twice just to see, you know, what's going on,
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. But you know, I did that because when I didn't get a table, I applied for it, but they didn't accept my application, and I figured, you know, I might as well try to get to know some people that are, you know, running the convention, and yeah.
Making buddies never hurts anything, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I wanted to go anyway, and I'm broke, so that's a way to go.
Yeah.
What else have I been doing? Trying to keep up with my comics. I put a call out for writers for Chance of Doom, and I got a couple submissions, and only Carrie was was the one that was the only one that sent me actual like strips, like
really?
strips with my characters. So that was cool. I will probably use most of I'll use most of them.
Use all of them if you want. I don't mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
I sent him a big giant pile of comic strips, so.
You're like, oh, yay! Here you go.
Yeah, it was really cool, and they were really funny too. So I was really happy
Thanks.
about that.
Yay!
And what else? Yeah, that's about it. I got a photo shoot in like 15 minutes, so we should
Yeah, let's
go
talk
on
real quick.
Melony and then talk really quick.
All right. Well, last episode we talked about specifically with one of my characters. I was just having a really hard time with his design, and I figured since I'm right at the beginning of all of my strips with him, I go ahead and get him redesigned and figure it out. And you guys can see the update on his designs there on my Tumblr page. He's looking much better now.
Yes. It's weird how like you finally get a character's head looking properly, and then all of a sudden you can do lots of different facial expressions. Like his head just kind of snaps together. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Neat
I don't know. It was a snap together both with the hand and with the brain. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've done this enough and drawn enough circles and squares and rectangles, and all of a sudden it goes, oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's good.
Now it haunts me, yes. And I have so many creepy bears in my sketchbook now. Oh my God, creepy bears! It's gonna be my nightmares. creepy bears.
That's great, though. I'm glad that came together.
Yes, but that's been about it for me. Other than like having a refrigerator fall on my arm, you know, that's always fun too.
Just the usual.
Yeah, definitely.
Usual terrible accidents.
Yes. Usual trying to get the fridge in the house and it fall on you and you go, ah! You know, fridges want love as well.
They will steal hugs.
This. It will steal hugs. It will fall on top of you. It will go, I'm going to give you some love. You know, kind of whether you want to or not. It's a bit forceful. Awesome. You're just like, ah, okay.
See, you should stick with comics as opposed to like. You should stick with comics as opposed to moving furniture.
Right. I think so. But anyways, our main topic today that we wanted to discuss was the why of comics. Why make comics? A lot of people, whenever they first get really big creative urges, a lot of times they'll focus on writing, or they'll go off into like illustration land and you know, really focus on those key aspects. And I posed the question to my fellow comics peoples, why make comics? Why combine the two? So, Robert, why don't you start?
Start with Ray, because I'm still thinking about my answer.
It's okay. Carrie, go ahead and then you take off for a moment.
I think that writing and drawing have been two of my favorite things for a long time. I majored in English writing, and I have been drawing since I was a kid. So, and my thought initially was that I would write some kind of amazing novel and get published or something. But the harder I tried to do that, the more kind of like novel writing feels really out of control to me because it's just so big, and there's so much space for you to create plot holes and fall into them, or forget what you wrote last week and then you know, contradict yourself or something like that. And it just takes an astounding amount of organization, I think, and keeping on top of yourself to do that. So I don't know, like it just never, like I get like seriously like 300 pages written and then go and just stop. And so I mean, I've done lots of creative writing, but it wasn't sticking quite the way that it needed to actually become a finished project. And I've never finished any big stories like that. So, I started out drawing kind of like evolved from like copying other people's stuff and then going towards realism and thinking that that was the best thing ever, and then shying away from realism and going more towards cartoons. And I've, you know, watched a lot of animated cartoons and stuff, which I think translate kind of over to comics a little bit better than a lot of other creative things do. But yeah, I think eventually it. I don't know. I don't even really know when that became a thing. Like I got into webcomics and stuff and thought it might be a cool idea to start one, but I don't think that I ever actively thought about why that was so interesting and why it felt like the right thing to do or whatever. But I bet that it's probably because it kind of combines my love of writing and my love of art in a cartoony way that I can kind of get behind. So, and now it sort of feels like whenever I think of like writing a story, I always think of it now in comic form. So like, I think that the medium is here to stay for me. So I think that's kind of probably why it went that way for me. But
so it became like the most natural form for you, basically.
kind of, but like I'd never thought when I was a kid, like, oh, I want to be a comic, I want to be a cartoonist, or I want to, write comics. Like I just never really thought of that, and I think it just sort of fell into place a few years ago. So, I don't know, kind of an organic transition, I think, over a long period of time. But yeah, I never really thought about that before today, like why or how that happened. But that's probably why.
All right, Robert.
Did you think of something?
Yeah, I as well didn't think as a kid that I wanted to be a comic artist. I wanted to be an astronaut.
Awesome.
But I was in college, and I had never written or drawn a comic strip before. I had been interested in them. Like I always picked up Mad Magazine and loved everything in there, and I had the giant Savage sort of magazines, and so I was into them. I wasn't into like the superheroes or anything like that. I was more into the comedy and like high fantasy sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it occurred to me that I could draw them. And I got into college, and there was a school newspaper that had student comic strips. They were pretty decent, but one of them was like absolutely horrible. It was terrible. It was written poorly. It was drawn poorly, and I kept thinking to myself, I could do better than that. It's like that thing sucks. I could do better. And a semester came up where they were put out a call for submissions because that strip was that the person who wrote it or who drew it was graduating. They had a spot available, and I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna apply. So part of the application was to draw 10 strips and submit them, and I did that, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do at that time, and I got the job probably because I was the only one that submitted anything.
Yay!
Awesome.
So it was serendipitous that I just fall into it, and then after college, after I moved to New Orleans, I obviously stopped doing that strip because I needed to concentrate on my portfolio. And when I moved to New Orleans, I missed it. I kind of, I missed drawing, about a character. And I was in a relationship where my partner was really outgoing and outspoken and whatnot, and I was shy and always hiding in dark corners and stuff. So I wanted to show people who I was and break out my shell. So I started drawing Rise and Shine, and people seemed to like it. So I just kind of kept drawing it. And then I stopped for like 5 years, and after those years went by and I was doing illustration and stuff, I missed it again. I missed doing short stories and strips and drawing about characters and whatnot, and so I started Chance of Doom, and still doing them. So it's just started doing it because I thought I could do better, and I kept doing it because I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's weird how you start doing it and you look up and it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an interesting medium. And I don't know, like, I just can't get enough comics now. Like, and I don't think, like, I was into comics. Like, I remember I was starting to collect, like, some X-Men stuff when I was in, early on in college, but, like, I don't think I was ever as into comics as I am now. that I
Yeah,
kind of
me too.
discovered webcomics, and that's webcomics were sort of like my gateway drug. Like, there's a billion trillion webcomics, and there's a lot of really good ones, and people are doing things that you can't find on the shelves of bookstores sometimes, or in a newspaper, and I don't know, like, there's just so many, and a bunch of them are so good, and there's just so much inspiration to be had, and that got me reading actual comic books again. I've been reading a bunch of Guardians of the Galaxy and being super inspired and stuff by that stuff. But
And
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Yeah, and Hellboy's always so good. Started reading Hellboy in Hell. It's so good. Like, ugh, he like had this sequence that was kind of like A Christmas Carol, where he met this ghost that's sort of like escorting him around hell. It's so cool. And like he drew all these like weird, dilapidated cityscapes that are so freaking good. Oh my god, I'm just dying inside. And then there was this one
check
where
that out at some point.
yeah, there's this book where they go over a thing that happened to Hellboy when he was a kid, and it's called like the Night Circus or something like that. But it's like this wacky ass kind of freak showy circus that he steals away to during the night to try to prove he's a big boy or something. And and it's adorable and scary and amazing also. So I mean, there's just so much good stuff out there now, and that I didn't know existed before. So and now it's like I just can't get enough. And if somebody else goes, "Hey, here, read this comic, it's great," I'm like, "Yes, thank you." So I just, I'm always thinking about making comics and reading comics, and it's just in there now. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna go away.
Oh,
if I ever quit, it'd probably be like Robert. I just like start thinking about it again and miss it and come back.
Oh, comics!
What about you,
I've thought about them since I was 11. I'm the weirdo. I've been collecting.
No, that's good. We're the weirdos.
Do you see that long box right there?
Yes.
There's 5 under them.
Yay!
And both the bookshelves, the bookcases there are full.
Nice.
And I've got 3 more bookcases that are full in my bedroom.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I've been collecting since I was in, and I knew from a very early age I wanted to be an artist, but every time I sat down trying to just draw, I kept trying to make a story with it.
Aha.
And so it was very organic for me to just go ahead and keep going, keep doing. I did not actually discover comics till I was 11, though, and one of the boys in my middle school wanted me to draw Wolverine, and I had never heard of Wolverine.
Which seems now like blasphemy.
And so, yes, it does. Oh my God! And he gave me a couple of X-Men comics and a couple of different comics of different sorts, and I was hooked ever since. And my mother has hated that boy ever since.
That boy is a hero. A hero.
Yes. I tell you.
You would have eventually.
Yeah. So I guess I've been the nerd.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Robert's right. I think you would probably have eventually come to it anyway after a while.
Yeah, exactly. I just got introduced to it a little earlier than other people. But for the why, I just can't not draw with a story. Something's got to be there. I mean, I don't mind making just illustrations. Some of them could turn out really awesome, but I don't get that satisfaction that I get out of drawing comics.
Yeah, funnily enough, I have a hard time drawing illustrations unprompted. Like, with the coloring book, at least there's a theme to follow, so it's like, as long as I can come up with 4 illustrations that fit that theme, I'm golden, and oftentimes even the theme makes me think of several illustrations I could do. But, like, sitting there unprompted, like, you could draw anything, I'm just like, anything? Like, and I just can't, yeah, I just can't come to any kind of interesting conclusion. So comics really give me a direction and a purpose for, drawing and what I'm drawing, and I get to write fun stories at the same time.
Speaking of, I wanted to put a prompt out there for anybody that would want to do it through October here. There is a thing called Inktober.
Oh yeah, I did read that thing you sent me.
Yes. There's a gentleman. His name is, I believe, Josh, and he put up it's a drawing challenge. So one each drawing a day throughout the month of October, which I think is a really awesome little idea. And being October, you could do all sorts of fall-related, Halloween-related illustrations.
Mhm. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I might do it. I might find it difficult to do it every day, just because I'm kind of woefully busy right after work until I go to bed.
Are you talking about?
Inktober?
Are you talking about this Inktober? Yeah, Inktober.
But it sounds fun, and I'd like to do it.
I was actually thinking about doing this last month. Like I had never heard of Inktober before, but I was like, I planned it out, so I was like, okay, there's like 31 days that I could draw like one Halloween picture every day, and then by the beginning of October, I'll have these illustrations, and I can make a big sticker set.
Neat.
Have that available for Halloween. But
yeah, that is cool.
I did it for like 5 days, and I got busy doing other things, and and then I hear they're doing this Inktober thing. I'm like, I want to do that too, but god damn it, I'm so busy. And
maybe I'll do the abridged version and do a drawing a week.
Yeah,
or a couple drawings a week.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you gotta tailor it to your schedule.
Yeah, it's just I'm gonna start keeping a crazy calendar of stuff that I have agreed to do, and it's not even like art stuff. Half of it's just social life and family life and stuff, and just trying to make time for everybody and everything, and it ends up like stretching on for 2 months. Stuff. Yeah, I can just forego my friendships and my familial ties and become an art hermit in the woods. No, who needs them anyway?
That's what I'm doing.
We'll make a crabby art commune out in the forest.
Right.
No one will even want to hang out with us because we're too cranky.
Yeah, and then
we'll make ink out of berries and draw with sticks.
There you go.
Exactly. The purest form.
I was going to say, they're going to wonder why there are tanker trucks of ink going by.
Yeah, because we stole them. We hijacked a ink truck and brought it in the woods to our commune.
Heck yeah.
Of shithead angry artists.
Ink.
That's the only word we know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so I will try actively to do, because I don't do traditional stuff terribly often. I think it's bad for me. I think I better at least make a little time here and there to do some, do some art in the way it was meant to happen.
I think the idea of Inktober is a pretty good one. But you don't have to do the everyday one. You could do every other day or once a week or something like that. But
yeah, it's a good challenge to make sure you're doing something all the time.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Go bust out a Bic pen and just doodle every day and then post it.
What are you talking about? Yes, it does have to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect.
Throw it in the garbage.
Forever.
When you think it's perfect, it's not. Throw it in the garbage. Sticky note drawings I could do. Sticky note drawings with an ink pen, I could do that.
There you go.
Fancy nice drawings, I don't know. But I could do that.
Sticky. Yeah, you could do a sticky
note drawings.
Heck yeah.
They're all going to be busts of characters' heads. That's it. That's my go-to doodle is just busts. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, since October, you can do Halloween masks or something, or
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I thought this would be really neat, though. Everybody, I'll go ahead and post links to everything down in the description in the comments, either on YouTube here or down in the comments on our podcast page. So check it out. Hashtag it Inktober and hashtag it Trade Podcast, and that way we know that everybody's participating. We can see it up on Yeah, definitely. I'll repost them too on Tumblr and Facebook.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be cool. I love seeing other people's drawings.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
Hee
But yeah, I am going to be crazy and try the once a day.
Nice. You should. If you have time to do that, that is definitely a thing that you should try to do. And if I had time, I would try to do that. But
at least do the weekly.
Yes, I will do that. I'll try to do sticky note drawings and post them on Twitter or something.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be very big, guys. There's no size requirement about this. It's just to get you moving, to get you creative and functioning. And if you do that every day, you start noticing that you get more and more functional in that category, in that part of your brain.
Well, I think it's nice too because it's all well and good to want to do something or to say that someday you want to do something, but this is a really good challenge to actually do something and to produce something. So even if it's just a small drawing saying like I want to get better at drawing or I want to try my hand at comics or anything like that, this is a good first step to just actually doing it. Yep. So you should definitely try.
I'm gonna try.
Definitely.
I'm gonna try to do the daily thing. I know I'm not gonna be able to do it every day, but you know I'm gonna
try.
Yes.
Try is the key.
I should try to do some Halloween.
Okay.
I've got a few more minutes. My ride just called me and said he'll be here in another 10 minutes or something like that. So.
Okay, cool.
This will be a short-ish episode. But
not too terrible. But yeah, so post everybody and send us links. Our email is thetradecomicpodcast@gmail.com, and like I said, I'll post links to everything down in the comments so that way it's spelled correctly. But yeah, send us links, send us comments, let us know what you think, and if there are any topics you want to cover or interviews with people you would like us all to hit up, let us know.
Melony is not afraid to ask people to be on this podcast, that is for sure.
No,
Carrie is completely petrified of asking people to be on this podcast.
Believe me, I got my petrified moments, but it's only in person.
My type B personality has proven to be an obstacle with this whole thing.
Yeah. You know, when we went out to Emerald City there, I was like, oh my God, they're real.
Yep, they're real people. They're really nice. They're all so nice.
I know.
They're also terrifying to talk to.
Yes. Like, Dave Kellett scared me a little bit.
He's so nice. Ugh, he's so nice.
Yes. He is so super nice and
is this why it's so hard to get people to come over to a table? Is that we're intimidating or like people are really shy or something? Because it's really weird sitting behind a table at a convention and all these people are walking by. They're all looking at your stuff and they don't even stop. I mean, I can understand that, you know, they glance at what you have and they don't like it immediately, but it's like, why you only give it that one chance? I mean, like, are you just like too terrified to go up and talk to somebody? Is that what it is?
Some of them I would definitely put that in that category.
I make myself do it, but I'm not good at it. I just feel really awkward half the time. Like I went during PAX, I went and visited Abby Howard and Makinaro from the Strip Search show, and I was like the most awkward person in the world. Like I wasn't feeling particularly confident anyway, because I was by myself all day, because like none of my friends and my husband didn't have tickets for that day.
Aww.
But so I was like, already. So then going up to talk to people was really difficult for some reason that day. So, but yeah, like also I have this weird thing where like if I've talked to a whole bunch of people that I admire, I'm sort of like burnt toast for the rest of the day. Like interacting with more people is significantly more difficult after that. I'm just like, whew, that's done. Now I don't have to be sociable ever again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a giant weirdo.
I'm sorry I did, but I go. I just got a text from my ride, so I have to go to a photo shoot. So it was nice to talk to you guys, and
you too.
I'm out.
All
See you,
right.
Robert.
See you later.
Bye.
But yeah, so that is a weird phenomenon, though.
No, it's an introvert at their best. We have a certain amount of energy for a certain amount of interaction, and then anybody else we're comfortable with, we're good.
Yep. Yes, that is weird. Oh, also, if you guys are in the writing mood and want to write us a thing to our email, you should tell us why you're into comics, or why it isn't working out for you, or why another kind of thing works out better for you than comics. Because it's okay if you realize that comics aren't your deal and you'd rather be an illustrator, or
you'd rather be a
novelist.
writer, or yeah.
You can get 300 pages
okay,
into
guys.
a project and finish, then you've done better than me.
Definitely better than me. I keep starting them. I'll have the premise all set out. I'm horrible, but I sit there and I literally outline it like you would a book report.
Yep, that's important though.
And then I lose interest. And
yeah, that's one thing I've noticed, is that if it's not short and concise, and which is sort of the basis of comics in general, like the writing and the art is sort of all very boiled down and concise. Like if it's not like that, I tend to like get really far and then lose interest. And so I think that having like functioning in a medium where, you know, just what it is forces you to go small and go short and everything works out for me too, because then it's like, okay, well, I've done, 6 strips of a story, that's done, what else, like what else can I do, and how else can I, what other kinds of things can I talk about? Yeah, like, and having a premise where I could talk about almost anything. Like I can talk about real life stuff, I can talk about fantasy stuff, I can make up any scenario and just use it. And sometimes I get concerned that not having any kind of outline for Juniper and no end game and everything, I get worried that might come back to bite me somehow. But at the same time, like, it really keeps me motivated to think of new things, and I think it also kind of prevents me from getting burnt out on something, you know what I mean, like on one thing. So it's like, if I'm sick of this story, I can just end it, and then I can talk about, the necromancer coming back, or any number of weird things that could possibly happen. So I think that the concise nature of comics also draws me in.
I've always wondered with necromancers why they don't have, like, in a lot of games, in a lot of different stories I see with necromancers, why they don't have, for instance, their minions, right? They're usually got ghouls or something like that as their little underlings. Why they don't have butterflies? Because butterflies are scavengers.
Huh. Or crows. Crows would be good too. I think they don't want to look too nice. They want to look scary.
Right. They're like,
unless there are skulls on the butterfly's wings, and then now you're in business.
there you go. Oh, it's a pretty oh my god, yeah!
Yeah, a death butterfly. It could be one of those moths from Silence of the Lambs.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people don't realize they're scavengers. They actually eat off of a lot of things, dead flesh and dead things. Yeah.
Butterflies, why?
Yeah, they're weird. Pretty and they're ugly at the same time.
They're nasty.
Yes. So I just thought they would actually be like a good familiar for a necromancer.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I don't think my necromancer, he not only does not have a name, he also doesn't have a set familiar, so that might be an interesting thing to check out. But I kind of want Douglas to eventually buy a book to get him to go away, and then have the book not be disposable, like you can't get rid of it, kind of like a Ouija board.
Right.
I want to do that. Yep. Like, he throws it away and it keeps coming back.
Like, Juniper will help him out there. She basically makes him a room where he can hide it, at least.
Or it just keeps escaping somehow. You never see it happen. It's just somewhere else. That'd be good. I'm going to do that.
Keeps popping up with the cookbooks.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, any old ware. I could keep this gag going for a long time if I wanted.
Hell yeah.
That's the other thing too. I like the one of the reasons I like comic writing is because you don't really have to finish a thought necessarily to completion. Like you can also set up kind of a running gag thing and then sort of just keep coming back to it whenever you feel like you need to. I think we've got a few running gags going in Juniper. We try to space them out a little ways, but yeah, I think that keeps me interested in it too, like the possibility of making a reference to something that happened earlier. Whereas I know you can do that in novels and stuff, like, and you have to keep the story going sometimes, but like, I don't know, there's just something so nice about writing in tidbits, I guess. And I don't know if that means that I'm lazy or unmotivated,
no, it's
but like,
it's just a different preference and it's a different style.
mm-hmm.
You know, with comics in general, it stays fairly fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And there's editing, but it's not huge. You know, you don't have this long spans of editing per se that you do with novel writing, even short story writing. You still have editors. You still have those gateway people,
right,
that help you whittle it down, which is still good. It's
mm-hmm.
just a different way to go about things. And comics I like so much because you have very few of those editors, if any at all. Like,
well,
I mean,
you need to become your own editor, you know, and make sure that each and every word is necessary in each and every speech bubble, and, you know, making sure that everything fits and stuff. And it's a bit like a puzzle that way too. And I think it's nice to see it all come together. Like these two kind of, like, art and writing are related, and especially comic art and writing are kind of inseparable, obviously. But I don't know. There's something kind of nice about watching the writing and the art all come together on one page too. That's really satisfying. It's kind of like putting together a puzzle, but you feel all clever after you've finished it. I don't know. It's kind of nice.
You feel even more clever once the book catches it.
Yes. But yeah, I guess it's interesting. I've never really thought until today, like, why I do that and why it all resonates so strongly with me. But yeah, I think if you can't, I kind of wonder, you know, if you can't put your finger on why, or if you aren't enjoying it or whatever, maybe it's important to kind of point out that, like, maybe there are people out there who, you know, enjoy comics and consuming them and everything, but it might just not be sticking as an art form for them, and it's okay to back away from it and try something else, you know.
Oh yeah, so, definitely. I mean,
there's
that's
no shame.
Yeah, no shame at all. It's the nice thing about life. You can go and experiment with a lot of things, a lot of different places. I approached things slightly differently with, like, college, because I knew I still wanted to make comics. I knew I wanted to actually make them on my own, because I had decided quite a while ago I never wanted to go with any of the big publishers. You know, Marvel, DC, anything like that. I knew I didn't want to be just a penciler or anything. That seemed kind of boring to me.
Yeah.
And I wanted more control over what I'm making. So I figured, you know, especially since webcomics really started kicking off about 2000, 2001 and started really rising up. And I've been reading comics pretty much my whole life, and webcomics almost from their beginning. I can't not make them. And webcomics, I can't step away from.
Yeah, I just love it to death. And it's like, and also it's possible too, for people listening, if you're not sure, it's also possible to love something that you don't like doing. And so, you know, if it's just not clicking for you, rather than frustrate the hell out of yourself, you know, there's no shame in becoming an illustrator or becoming a novelist or a short story writer, you know what I mean? And just kind of nailing down what does resonate with you and just running with it.
Total astronaut.
You can go full astronaut.
Yes. Even you can be an astronaut. Maybe even in India.
That is all I think that I have in my brain. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we sign off?
No, I think that's about it. in general, I think people should just go for it, see what they can make, see what they can do, see if they find some love in there for it, and if not, that's okay. Try other things, you know, go out there and explore, make, do.
Yes.
You know, there's fantastic people out there. It took them years and years of just experimenting and trying little things before they finally found their niche.
Right. Yep, and it does take a long time. It's hard because you don't get a whole lot of feedback sometimes. You're not sure if like this is working out or if, you know, but just do what makes you happy. And if comics make you happy, that's awesome. If they don't make you happy, stop doing them and try something else.
True. It's true.
It's okay to try something else.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Please email us at thetradecomicpodcast@gmail.com, or you can do the Twitter, the Trade Comic Podcast. And like I said, again, I'll put links down in the comment section and whatnot, and doobly Jews below.
The doobly doo, as what's his face says from the Idea channel.
Yes, the doobly doo. Which is awesome.
It is. Anyway, we will see you guys next time, and think of why you like the things you like.
Yes.
And do Inktober, because that'll be fun.
Yes. Yes, we are going to do Inktober. Yay! Okay.
Twitter to see my doodles.
Yes. Follow us on the Twitters and the Facing of Books and the Tumbling of Things. Yes. Okay. Comments below, guys. Let us know what you think. Laters.
Bye.
Bye.